Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be reacting to WandaVision episode 3 and we can't wait to jump into it.
Drop the gun, you are under arrest.
So last week when I was editing episodes 1 and 2 of WandaVision that I was watching, I realized something about myself that I kind of knew. I'm not really a talker during movies, but especially on this kind of thing, I love the MCU so much that I wasn't talking a lot through it. And so I decided I'm going to change up what I'm doing. Instead of doing first-time reactions on these, I'm going to do second-time reactions because I do want to, put this out to the world for y'all to watch it. But first and foremost, I want to be entertained. And so I did already watch WandaVision once early this morning when I woke up. So this will be the second time that I'm watching it to react to, which I think is going to be better. It'll be more entertaining. I'll actually talk more about the episode rather than trying to pay attention. During editing last week, there were several times where I would start a sentence and then something would continue to happen, so I would stop, and so it ended up being a lot of blank video and not really reacting. It was just watching the video for the first time, just because I know I'm not that person. So going forward, especially on the MCU stuff, by the time I react, I have already seen these episodes. And so I think they'll be more beneficial for everybody. So, like I said, I'm not going to talk a lot about it because I did already watch it. This is going to end up being a great TV show. I can't wait for the rest of the episodes. Like I said, I think in the first episode, I think things are going to be moving pretty quickly, and this confirms this. This whole episode is moving things along. We're going to see. I think we're going to end up seeing Wanda and Vision also in ways that we don't expect them. Also, in a couple of comments I made, I said, I hope they don't bring Vision back. I hope they leave him dead. But, as I thought about that, and then even when I watched this episode, I'll comment more on it afterwards. But, I'm kind of okay with them bringing Vision back if they do it the way that they're kind of setting it up to. Maybe they still won't, but this episode, to me, opened up a whole lot that was going on. One thing that I did want to comment on that I didn't see anybody on the internet say, so Agatha Harkness, or Agnes, I believe they call her in the movie, in the show, she keeps referring to her husband, Ralph. And if I remember right, the only Ralph I can ever remember in Marvel Comics is Ralph. I can't remember what his actual name is, but he was in the Infinity Gauntlet storyline. I think just at the very beginning. I don't really remember what his role was in that, but I do wonder if he even had any powers. I don't know that much about him. I didn't go and research, but that would be interesting if they interject these weird Easter eggs like that, and they actually end up being something down the line. I think Ralph had something to do with Adam Warlock, and which is interesting because Guardians of the Galaxy, the last one, they mentioned Adam Warlock, so maybe that's the thing that's going to flesh itself out, or maybe it's just an Easter egg for all us to wonder about. But I didn't see anybody else commenting about that, so I don't know if that's just my own thing or what, but without further ado, let's jump into the show. They did a really good job at making these look like period pieces. So when I saw this right here, I was thinking, that's not Vision. Vision would build the thing correctly, so I think that's trying to tell us something that, of course, he's dead, so this is a figment of her imagination, but he's not exactly who he used to be. I think Vision could have built a swing set without it falling apart. Yeah. Elizabeth Olsen is so great in these shows too. See, and they have Vision playing like a klutz or somebody unsure, and that I don't think that's who he is. If he's Jarvis, he wouldn't be unsure in all these ways. If you think back how he used to communicate with Tony, he was so sure. you know, he would mock Tony and things like that, you know. And he's not at all like he is in this show. So I still don't know exactly what's happening specifically here. If he's just glitching out or Wanda's just not paying attention to her. I mean, Wanda's not paying attention to him. This is not something that's playing out in the past. This is something that's happening right now. And she's just imagining it as a 70s thing. They also have him with the Infinity Stone in his head. And so that makes me real curious about how they're going to deal with him. So when you saw him flip into the book, I like that because his speed stuff in this movie makes it look like what they would have made speed look like back in the 70s. It's not what they made Quicksilver look like, you know. Like today that would look really nice, but here it looks outdated.
With all the close calls we've been having, it seems the people of Westview are always on the verge of discovering our secret.
See, this whole line of thinking is strange because if he's just fake, he's just a figment of her imagination, why would she think and have him react this way? Like, that doesn't make any sense. So it's almost like he is still an entity, but is just being manipulated the same way everybody else is. Because if this was just in her imagination, he would just be a perfect husband and just work exactly like he's supposed to. But like right there, she had to turn back time to make him forget his line of reasoning. So yeah, it's interesting how they made her lose control of her powers while she was pregnant. Like, it makes you wonder if she's actually going through these birth pains, even though they're fake, you know. Just real interesting the way they did this. Is Mr. Haddix somebody in the MCU? Need to look into that. I don't think any of these names are by accident. I don't think. And I like this effect that they have on this that she's doing here, where it looks more like powder and it's not taken. Because usually her powers look more electrical or have a wet look to them, you know. But these are more powdery and they didn't take, you know. So like even small things like this, like did his car really not work, or did she subconsciously make his car not work because she knew this moment was coming? I missed this earlier. I guess I was assuming there was going to be a boy and a girl, but I guess there's two boys. So this scene is really good right here.
Small towns, you know, so hard to.
Kind of gives us a glimpse of how she's manipulating people. So there's still some of themselves. You see these two people talking. Like, why would they be gossiping 1 second and then turn around and be fake the other one? Unless they know something's not right and they can't exactly put their finger on what it is. So like with her, it's interesting seeing this. Like, did she make her snap out of it? I mean, this is... Like, she remembers why she's there.
No family. No husband. No home.
That's weird.
What'd you say? Just now. I said...
It's up until this point that I thought the series, like maybe somebody may be manipulating Wanda to manipulate everyone else, but I don't think so after this.
What did you say about Pietro?
Pietro.
I think here shows that she's doing all this. And if that's true,
Hey, I'll take a shift watching the babies.
No, I think you should leave.
she's gonna transition from being a bad guy, a good person, to a bad guy.
She came here because we're all.
She came here because we're all what? What are you trying to tell me?
Who are you?
Wanda.
Essentially, she's treating them like slaves. She has this town being held hostage.
Well, she left, honey. She had to rush home.
She does such a good job at this. And so this is what I was talking about. So I don't know if you can see it on your screen, but the 4:3 aspect ratio went away and went back to real life. So she has some kind of force field around the town, I guess. This show is so good. And it's going to be so good. Okay, so we just finished watching the episode. Like I said, I think things are going to start running quicker and quicker. They're definitely setting up Wanda to be the bad guy. It looks like she has this whole town quarantined. She makes them do whatever she wants to do. At least that's the way it looks like. It looks like it's her that's doing that, not somebody doing that to her. Like we saw in the first couple of episodes, like in the radio, they said, "Wanda, who is doing this to you?" And I think they're doing that because she was set up as an Avenger. You know, she's supposed to be a good guy. Sure, she started off with Hydra and all that kind of stuff, but and that may be play into these commercials that we're seeing. You know, it does look like those are problem points in her life, and so maybe she is reverting back because what good did being a good guy do to her? You know, she still lost everybody that she loved, you know, the two people that she loved, and so she may be reverting back, but I'd be shocked if somebody is controlling her and making her do this. So they're assuming that she's a good guy and or giving her the benefit of the doubt at least, but it looks like that's definitely not the case. I'm confused what they're going to do with Vision. Like that's the point at which I don't know exactly what's happening, because he it seems like he can't just be a figment of her imagination, because he's questioning these things as if he's a real person. And of course, I'm assuming that everybody else in this show is a real person as well. But if you look back on the second episode, when it seems like they're trying to get in some kind of way, maybe that force field is not as impenetrable as it can be. But we did see them come through the sewer, so maybe they dug into the sewer outside of the zone and went in through and came up out of the street that way. And she just has the air covered. It's not like a full circular bubble, or however you want to think about it, you know. But you know, if she's done something, so it seems like he may be some kind of real person and not just a fake person. So if she's done something and he is now a different entity, like maybe she grabbed his body after the end of Endgame and actually put him together and made him sentient without the Mind Stone, or recreated the Mind Stone, or however you want to look at that. Perhaps he is going to be something different than he was, and that may be why he's so clumsy. And you know, some of that they could be chalking it up to the way the sitcoms are or were back then, and making it that way. But I think they're setting up something else. So you know, in fixing Vision, she didn't put all the pieces back together right, and so where he was very calculating and all that kind of thing, perhaps he's going to be a slightly different version of Vision when we come out on the other side of that, which I'm fine with, you know, if they do it that way, you know. Elizabeth Olsen is doing a fantastic job in this TV show, and I love it. And so is Geraldine, which is supposed to be Monica Rambeau. So it's kind of interesting. It'll be kind of interesting to see how that plays out. If she renamed herself Geraldine to kind of fit in with the town, or if that was something that Wanda ends up doing. Like, she just called her Geraldine. Like, maybe everybody's name that we're mentioning in here is not actually their names in real life. It's just what she named them. You know, so a lot of possibilities, a lot of places this thing could go. And you know, I do like how it starts off lighthearted and everything, and very quickly is getting out of control, getting out of her control. So, if you like this type of video, like and subscribe. All my videos are going to live on this channel now that you see. I'm not going to be posting them to the two channels anymore. I'm going to work on just trying to grow this channel and see what that does. But and these are coming out a little bit longer because I'm not posting them. So they put copyright blocks on these videos that I'm doing, and then I have to dispute them. And they've lifted all the strikes already, but this last one, most of them would take about a day to dispute, and then I'm posting them. But this last one, it took like 3 days to do it. So I am uploading these and just going through that dispute process before releasing it to the world. So I appreciate y'all tuning in with me. We'll see y'all next week for episode 4, and we'll see you then.